show a lot is college and how applicable it is, especially if you're an entrepreneur doing your own thing. Would you say a lot of what you learned in school could be used in what you're doing now, or is it kind of just whatever going with the flow?
Self-experience.
So I'll give a little background information. So I went to Emory University, which is a private college down in Atlanta. About 6,000 undergraduate kids. I wanted to study economics, and when I got there, I learned that hey, the business program is one of the best in the nation, and you can get in as an undergrad. So I applied for that, got in early. So freshman year, second semester, I'm in there. Take accounting, take all the basic classes, and then took entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? One of the classes, and I finished with 2 degrees, which is organization and management. Really, in the real world, they call it consulting. And I have a degree in marketing. So I say all that to say that yes, I did the thing, but in my opinion, to be an entrepreneur, I rather would had the choice. I rather would have had the opportunity to a la carte style my courses, because I took a lot of courses that I feel like didn't really apply to me, but there were courses that I took that I was like, wow, this is very important in me learning how to build a business. Like if I'm shipping a lot of shoes, I'm using tape and boxes and all these things, so I need to figure out my supply. I need to figure out, hey, if I'm only have 200 boxes left, I should order more boxes. So some of these things in the end played into my business, like come up with a marketing plan.
Yeah.
Or like come up with a business plan. Like all these things I feel like played into my success in the business, but at the same time, I might not really needed to take that accounting class.
Yeah.
Right? But I took it and it helped me. Maybe I can't explain to you how that helped me, but
It did.
It
did.
in the long run. Somehow it did. You took something from the class, regardless.
Yeah, but I feel like I could have just read a book on my own and not had to pay $4,000 a class.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel on that one.
That's kind of the big issue with the money. Was the money worth it? In the end, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But
Yeah. I mean, I still have student loans. So
even after all, fuck it. With e-commerce kind of rising up inside right now, do you think that's the easiest way to get into the business right now, or do you think traditional or more conventional ways of doing business are preferable?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think if you are maybe in a city like New York City where there are a lot of resellers, it's probably easier to be online. But I think if you're in a town like Bowling Green and you really want to make a name for yourself, you should sell online, but at the same time, build local connections and be like, hey, I sell kicks, or you know what I mean? Locally reach out and then do some networking physically, because it's the idea like smaller, like a big fish, little pond, right? Or like big pond, little fish. So for me, I look at e-commerce as something you can build on, but at the same time, it's all about your brand, right? So if you don't have maybe something that really can distinguish yourself like online from the other sellers, maybe you don't have, maybe you're selling the same thing as everyone else, but you're charging a little bit higher, it's really not going to work, right? But if you have a brand locally that you can, you know what I mean? Like you said, like Benjamin Kick, he's selling a celebrity. That's one way to kind of open the door for your business. But like my to continue on that, it's like if Benjamin Kick's charging $500 for a pair of shoes, and the shoe's only really worth $300, are these dudes on Instagram
people,
really
really
gonna buy that?
Yeah, I feel
that.
You know, so you have to be in tune with how you're moving the products. Maybe there's some shoes that locally you can sell, like the Jordan 11s. That shoe, year after year, sells out.
Yeah,
every single time.
every year.
Yeah, and then
no matter what they drop.
Yeah, so if you hold on to those for 6 months, you will sell it. Somebody locally will buy that shoe.
Yeah.
But online, it's not really going for anything. You might make $15 a pair online, and you just did all this legwork.
That's true.
So you just got to figure out whether the shoe is built for e-commerce or whether it's something that like you can sell locally.
Yeah, because I mean, locally you can quickly just become known as that guy with the shoe. Just like we're the guys with the podcast here in Bowling Green. I don't think anybody else has a podcast that I know of.
Yeah.
If you do, hit us up. We'll collab.
Yeah, big fish, little pond.
Yeah.
There
So
you
you
go.
quickly be known
Yeah.
as that guy. With companies emerging like StockX, they're fucking huge in e-commerce now. And like you were saying, with 11s, you can barely now they sell under retail a lot. Do you think that's kind of emerging into what you're doing, or do you find yourself kind of separate from that?
I saw on StockX.
Oh, you do?
I have a rep that I talk to on a weekly basis.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we
In
do.
tune with everything.
Our volume isn't really that high on StockX or
Yeah.
GOAT, but we do a good job of kind of watching what they do, and for me, the thing that separates StockX and Go with us is the fact that there's such a long, it's a way longer handling time. So then you buy a pair of shoes right now. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get the shoes till next Monday.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed. I've gotten 2 pairs of shoes off StockX.
I've never shopped.
You have to basically ship to StockX where they like verify, make sure it's like authenticated. Yeah. They give you a little chip and then they send it to you. So that's 2 different mailing processes.
And you live in the middle of the country, so you might get it on like next Thursday.
Yeah.
But if you live in California, they ship UPS.
You're waiting 2 weeks to get
or
shoes.
Oregon. Yeah, it's gonna take 4 or 5 business days for StockX to get to you.
That's wild.
Right? Or they ship it to the California one, it's a lot closer. But so if you really need a shoe in 3 days, it's not going to get to you. And I just think that as a seller, there is no way to grow your brand.
If people are waiting that long?
No, just on StockX, because everything on StockX Go isn't about, Melton, you're selling shoes. Yeah. Denny, you're selling shoes. It's about who's got the lowest price.
Okay.
The lowest price goes first on these platforms.
And StockX takes a lot. Like, if your margins are low, StockX takes a lot. I sold some Jason Tatum Air Maxes because I just didn't want them.
The 97s, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't want them. I bought them in Nashville and I sold them, and I saw they were reselling for them a little bit more right when they came out. So I sold them, and like I didn't do them for profit, but I sold them on GOAT, and like I sold them for like $60 over retail, and they took like $40, and I was like,
So they take about on average they take about 9 to 10%.
Yeah, and then it took like a week and a half just to get my money. That's not for him to get the shoe. Yeah. So like it was a whole hassle. I would never do it again.
Sounds like
you never do it again?
Nah, I wouldn't do it again. I just keep the damn shoe. For real.
Or sell it locally.
Yeah.
What kind of influenced you to go from being like strictly online to building a